Welcome back to Havana Media. My name is Boniface Owino, and as usual, I'm going to be your host for today. And it is very fortunately that I've been visited by two guys. We have got Dixon Alwatch together with Carol, which I'll give them chance to introduce themselves. But just a brief introduction. Dixon is one of the is a chairman, youth leader for Safina, and we also have is also one of the founders of Youth Forum. For Youth Forum Initiative, which the patron is Kajuang, one of the senators. We all know him. And Carol is also a national SG of USLA. But I'll give them chance to at least introduce themselves very well, because you cannot know someone that deep. They are the ones who can introduce themselves. So I'll start with Carol, and then we go to Omwayo. We go to Aloch. Carol.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Okay.
My name is Carol Omoyo, as you've rightly put it, and I'm the national chair, the National Secretary General for USLA.
Okay.
USLA stands for University Student Leaders Association, and we are going to take back this country, especially in the education sector. There has been a lot of corruption and embezzlement of resources. Okay. And that is the whole point of USLA, to bring back power to the comrades.
Oh, so your main aim is to bring power to the comrades?
Yes.
Yeah, and I know you're working on that, and you know what you're going to do in order for the power to come back to the young generation short. Yes. So, Mr. Dixon.
Thank you so much, Boniface.
Yes.
Now, this is Dixon Alwatch, the chairman of the Youth League of Safina Party of Kenya. Safina Party is led by the Right Honorable Jimmy Wanjigi and Wakil Willie Sotieno, a very wise man. I know majority, 99% of the Kenyans have interacted with my party leaders, Honorable Wanjigi and Willie Sotieno. As well, I'm the chairman I'm the founder of the Youth for Youth Initiative. We are doing what we call social-based economic approach on empowering youths and young people, majorly in the diaspora, in our rural counties. Yeah, so we are working with a very large team. Honorable Moses Kajuang, the senator of Homa Bay County and the incoming chairman of ODM Homa Bay. I think that is important to note.
Is the incoming chairman?
Yeah, is the incoming of ODM chairman of Homa Bay County. Okay. So Honorable Kajuang is a very young man who have a lot of interest in empowering young people in this nation. That one is by evidence of the Kajuang Foundation, which has empowered a lot of vulnerable women, people with disabilities, the poor students in the villages in Homa Bay, as well as here in the city, all over. So we are so much privileged as the Youth for Youth Initiative to be to have such kind of a mind, Honorable Kajuang, to be our patron. But as well, I'm a young man who has a passion of one day leading in this country. To come 2027, I'll be on the ballot. I think that one is also important to note.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll be in Kileleshwa. I'll be vying Kileleshwa Ward there.
Okay.
So my people from Kileleshwa Ward, a change is coming. And the time has come that every single person that is associated with the impunities, we must just send them home because we want change. And change must start with us. If we are claiming that we want change and we can't get ourselves out to seek the change, then which change do we want? So being ambassador of the change and being a man who knows very well the economic principle of this country and who has some leadership qualities and who has ever led nationally. I'm the one serving as a national youth chair in Safina. Safina Party is not a small party. Yeah. So that's enough to tell the people of Kileleshwa Ward that a man is coming, strong enough to lead and to guide and to patane mbeleni in 2027. My message maybe before we start is that the youths of this country, we must know that these people have been using you as a socket, as a remote controller. But you guys are the majority. So we based on what even are happening in the country, though we are still surviving economically, even politically, everywhere. But at least there's some decolonization and depoisoning of the mind that has happened. So that the youths are the people who stood up and participated 100%, you know. And these millennials and the old generation, there are people who have been afraid, they have been living in fear. But when things were going in a mess, we stood up as a nation, as youths, and we said that for the sake of our country, Kenya. So the same way we stood up, that's the same way I'm encouraging our people, that we must stand up 2027. Because trust me, this time around, we are not going to allow the grand measures of impunities. We are going to tell our people that we are not in the Topado age. We are not the Precambrian era. The time has come that we must bring the accountable men on board. And we are the young people who are accountable, because we are the one who know the problem that we are facing on the ground. And that's why I'm even ready to, I'm presenting proudly my party leader, Honorable Jimmy Wanjigi, as a man who is so much competent. We have been seeing the other time, and I was saying somewhere last week that I think the president, William Ruto, is late. Because even my toothless grandmother in the village now understand that Kenya has no debt, you know, courtesy of Jimmy Wanjigi. So I'm trying to say that this time around we are bringing people who are very much competent, starting from the top with Jimmy Wanjigi himself and my deputy party leader, Honorable Willis Otieno, to the bottom in Kilesha Ward with Dixon Aloch as the MCA. This country is going to be in line.
Okay, that is what? That is, those are two leaders. Those are two young men, youths who have got a very good vision. Like Dixon, I've heard you have according to what you've said, you have a very good vision, especially not only for you, but I know you're not going to do this for yourself, but we're going to do it for the whole nation, for youths. And especially there is a point that you've said, that which I've noted, that you're going to vie for a position in Kileleshwa. That one is very much important.
Very important.
That position, like a youth coming out and saying that declaring that is going to vie for a position in Kileleshwa is very much important. I was listening to the current MC of Kileleshwa.
Alai.
I don't want to mention his name, Alai. Alai right now, let us not talk negatively about him, but right now Alai is like I don't know how to put it, but he's just there.
We know, Kenyans know. Why should we hide? These things are in public domain. And even the other time we saw him, I've interacted with him. I sent a good message to him last week. I told him that we are persevering for now, because we just want to persevere for now. But the people of Kileleshwa are very wise people. They know, and they can't be hooded. They brought Alai on board, but what has Alai done? He has betrayed the people of Kileleshwa, you know? What Adai done, Adai is a man who falls much handout, you know? He's a person who is self-centered, he's a glutton. That is the truth. Kenyans, we know all these things. The other time when a revolution came, when that finance bill, 2024, which was coming to castrate our Kenyan economy, and to kill our poor, parents, poor Kenyans. 95% of Kenyans are living, languishing actually, in poverty, you know. Instead of joining the young people, we saw the kind of the sentiment that the likes of Alai were making. So that is what we call the Precambrian era. And that's why I've said that this time around, a wave is coming, a tornado. And we want to tell our people that this thing is already here. No one is going to stop this. We are coming to take, we are coming to pursue, because we have one vision and we have one mission. We know the stability of our country. No, Kenya GDP is the highest GDP in Eastern, and not only in Central Africa. Central Africa, Tunisia, I guess, is the one who has a little bit higher than our GDP. But look at even what they are doing in education sector in Kenya, where they are crippling everywhere. So the time has come that we must not only talk in these media platforms, we must go to the ground. And Dixon will take a lead in the ground. I know several people who will be going on the ground. And this time around, if you can't join us, if you can't join us, then you rather go to hell. Because we know what we want to our country. Every person who is still colonized, every person who is still who has still a fixed mindset, I think the best medicine that we can give these people is maybe to castrate them. Because we want a fruitful nation. Kenya is bigger than all of us,
Yeah, true.
including Alai.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So, okay, and now just jumping into our discussion, there are a lot of things that have happened in the country. As we all know, you are young men, and according to my understanding, you are all students from university. Like we have got the SG of university here, and we also have a student here, which is good. Just brief, Mr. Karel. There is something that I would like to ask you. Yesterday, some of the student leaders.
Yes.
Yeah, I know you. When I talk about student leaders, you hear, you know what what I'm talking about. Some of the student leaders went to the president.
Yes.
They went to meet the president, courtesy of what has been happening, the issue of education funding, the university, and all that. My question has been this, which I would like to ask you, so that at least you can also clarify to us. These people, when they were going to the president, was it due to the president's call, or they decided to go by themselves? And if they really went by themselves, were they considering the way the parents will react, because they don't pay the school fees? It is the parents that pay the school fees. So were they considering that?
So thank you for the opportunity. First of all, I want to talk about that new funding model that the president has brought upon us.
Okay.
I want to call it a skunk, just like Mbadi calls him.
Yeah, the skunk.
So this new funding model, I was looking at, there's a girl here who sent me her new funding model, and I want to look at it. This girl is from one of the poorest backgrounds that I know of. They have a acre of land. Her mother does menial labor for sustenance. Even her high school fees, which was around 20,000 to 30,000, was being paid by relatives. But then she has been put in the band 5, where she's supposed to be paying 56,000 per semester. That is 113 per year. That is just the household fees that she should be paying. So in 4 years, she should have raised 450,000. If you do the math.
Okay.
Also, we have not put the help there. There is a help loan that goes directly into fees, which is almost the same amount. Now, she will come out of university with a government debt of over 400,000. She will have paid 400,000 in household fees. And also, there is also an upkeep loan that is given to them.
Okay.
So, first of all, with the recent graduations, let's say from 2010 up to now, I can tell you more than 70% of people who graduated from that time in their various professions don't have jobs. So they're literally negative income-wise. So and then you come, and now the government is not enough with us being at zero. Now they want us to take us to, you start from negative 600,000 when you finish campus.
Okay.
That is totally unfair. And then we have some sellouts who have now decided to go to State House and meet the president and compromise their actual... of course, they know these things are wrong. But then they have decided to compromise themselves and meet the president and make concessions. We are not going to allow that. Even the normal comrade down there knows that this thing is going to affect their younger brothers and their younger sisters.
So you guys, you like the student leaders,
yes,
you are not aware of this? Because, you know, they went to represent you guys as student leaders.
It is not all the student leaders that went. It is a section of sellouts.
When I was looking at the average people that went, I started calculating, they were around 60 to 70.
Yes.
Maybe if I can interrupt.
Yes.
Humbly.
Okay.
The president of Kenya has lost one thing that is very critical at any stage. Trust.
Okay.
There's what we call the trust deficit here. And that's why you are seeing the president going on tops of the cars in the street, trying to explain projects, calling universities student leaders to State House,
Uh-huh.
explaining. If it is good, why should he call the university student leaders and try to convince them? If something is good, we will be able to see, you know. And I want to say this, that we all know that in the job market is a little bit lower. If you look at the new funding model, they are saying that they are going to loan students.
Yeah.
Let's assume that they will loan the student. You know that for you to get a job, for you to go to apply for a job, you need to have a clearance form. Someone gets there's some courses that, let's say in this old funding model, a person is paying 15,000 Kenya shilling and they are still lacking school fee. And then with that new funding model, they are paying 122,000.
Yeah.
They have been loaned up to around 450,000. Where will they get that money to pay that loan?
So we're living under debt.
That is number one step.
Yeah.
So it is a trap.
Yeah.
And this trap, these people, they are promoting two things at a time. Ruto has deliberately crippled the economic sector of this country and is now promoting ignorance.
Yeah.
So imagine an ignorant, poor country. You know, that is what they are trying to do. And in my opinion, I'm thinking that they are trying to dance the music maybe from the West, you know, because this new funding model, we were asking ourselves the other time, there was an old funding model that was in place which was not 100% critical. Why did they drop that old funding model? You know, there are a lot of money that are being put on the ground in the education sector, just starting from the CDF, NGCDF funds. There's some money that the counties do get. There are some loans that students get. Why can all this money be pumped to education sector and education be 100% free? Why? You know? And we know that I can't blame our student leaders that much because they are also hungry people. Some of them are not exposed. Some of them are very desperate. So meeting the president is a great privilege to them. So they'll just rush there to go and these are young people who have just been in university. University student is just like a school prefect.
Yeah.
You know? So we can't judge them that much. But all that I know that whichever, this new funding model is not here to help any person.
Yes.
And we all know that Ruto is trying to regain the trust of the people. We want to tell the Mr. President that there are a lot of even projects. Even I think you guys have been watching across the media these things that these Gen Zs have been doing, exposing, you know,
the Morara.
These fake projects.
Morara.
Morara has been doing that, and I've just heard that there are people when wamejitokeza pia they are also trying to do such kind of things. That is telling us how people of Kenya have lost the trust to the government.
Yeah, we are going to do the same for the education sector, starting now. And this is what I'm going to tell Ruto. Ruto, be prepared for the biggest demonstrations that you have seen this year. Because this new funding model is going to dig a deeper grave, a political grave for you. This is the thing that is going to send Ruto home. Because the Gen Z protests, what made them not to succeed is they were not structured. And the thing with universities, they are structured. And when we decide to do a general strike for the whole country, I with my 5,000 students from Multimedia University and another one, Dixon from another 5,000 from Mount Kenya University, and all the universities in Nairobi, Ruto will be gone by the evening. So we are telling Ruto, first of all, you can't compromise this. There is only one way out to survive from this. Scrap the new funding model. And the old one, if you are feeling that the government is not going to survive without money, then the NGCDF that my brother has spoken about, do you know that almost 80 billion shillings goes into bursaries? Why don't they consolidate that bursary fund and put it into the consolidated education fund? So that even for the JSS teachers, do you know the JSS teachers are paid around 17,000? They are suffering. You can't survive. Yeah. That is the net salary. You can't survive in Nairobi with 17,000.
And just a quick question to you, Mr. Carroll.
Yes.
You've said that President William Ruto should get prepared
Yes.
for what is coming.
Yes.
And you've mentioned that with the 5,000 students from Multimedia University,
Yes.
and then our brother Dixon too, with the sum of more than let's say 5 or 7,000 from Mount Kenya University.
Yes.
You're going to make sure that Ruto goes down.
Yes. Even the University of Nairobi, they have already sent out a memo.
So, okay, according to you, the only university students,
Yes.
which structure do you have? Like, which method are you going to use to make sure that Ruto comes down? Because at the end of the day, you'll come to realize that some of you leaders have already sold the other students out.
Something you should know about campus politics is it is not all the time that the man at the top is the one leading the crowds. It's because of the new voting system. They introduced something called the delegate system, whereby a president gets elected in a school of 10,000 students. He wins with 39 votes. You see, that's not democracy. So that means that student leader is not popular with the big crowd. That's why I'm telling you, even if they buy all the presidents and whatever from every university in Kenya, students have a way of reorganizing themselves and bringing this government down. We are not going to compromise on that issue. And that's why I was telling you about USLA. USLA stands for University Student Leaders Association. And here we have brought together all the student leaders, the ones that have not been compromised, and the wise men, so and so. We call them wise men. Wise men are the king makers in universities. And these are the people with the real power on the ground. And we have told them that we are not going to compromise on this issue of the new funding model. Because, tell me, myself, I've been paying around 20,000 per semester. That's 40,000 per year. And sometimes a lot of our parents struggle to raise that 40,000. Tell me where a parent is going to now raise 120,000. That's for the average comrade for the new funding model.
And that is the cheapest course.
That's one of
That
the
is the
cheapest.
cheapest course.
122 actually.
I have two friends.
And 120.
Yeah,
Yes.
122.
I have two friends. One is from an affluent family, and another one is from a pretty humble background.
Okay.
This one from the humble background is in band 5. She's paying the 120,000 and she's doing education.
So with education, you're paying 120, and then at the end of the day, you
for
come to
medicine,
realize.
I have the list here. For medicine, your total fee is around 600,000 per year. And if you are in band 5, you have to pay something like 200 and something. Let me see.
As you're looking for that, Mr. Dixon, let me ask this. We know very well that this meeting was, these guys did not come out of this meeting without anything. Obviously, they can't. Truth be told, let us just be open. These students' leaders, they were called by the president at the State House. They went there. Maybe they if at all they took a cup of tea or something like that. But at the end of the meeting, there had to be some token.
Okay, what I can say, I'm not. I can't speak about that much. I was not there, but I know that the problem that we are having is not only about the new funding model. Education sector as large is crippled. As we speak, there's still a confusion. I was just listening to the news before I came here that the teachers, they want to go on strike on 26th, right?
Yeah, on Monday.
And you know that I heard from the other, was it last month, 2 months ago, that the doctors also, they threatened
Last month.
that they wanted to go on the strike?
Yeah.
So the problem that we have in Kenya is not even politically related, actually. The political freedom we got in 2010, and that's why we are even here speaking about Ruto. Yeah? The problem that we are having as Kenyans is economic instability. And that one also requires revolution. The same way we got a revolution to get the political freedom in this country, we still need that economical freedom as this country. And we want to tell our people that this government official and these are the arms of government. The arms of government at a point, I think maybe you advise me on this. I'm feeling that these people, they are literally fighting the people of the ground. Why am I saying so? they have preserved the government bureaucracy, and they're encouraging higher overrepresentation. You see, they are encouraging wastage. They are encouraging opulence. Yet the government servant, the civil servant of this republic, are suffering. You see, there's a lot of looting. It's so painful. I was with my party leader last week, and we were discussing, was saying that now we find that an MP, they buy chopper, you know?
Yeah.
And they're saying that some of them have overworked in those sectors for quite a long time. The other time I saw Senator Boni Halwale was complaining that, for example, he has been in the government, the rooms of power for quite a long time, you know? And they don't have even that capacity to buy those kind of things. These people are running with fuel guzzlers in town, not one. You get an MP walking the convoy of 6 fuel guzzlers, discovering those huge vehicles consuming a lot. Yeah. So our arms of government are encouraging this opulence, wastage. You see, the bureaucracy. There are a lot of looting. Actually, I want to tell you one thing. The people on the ground are suffering. They're saying that as we speak, that the prices of some products are down. Like if you go to supermarket, it's 120, 150 unga. But the people on the ground are crying that there's no money on the ground. What we call the recession and affiliation in the economics. You see, these people, they are the people using our people. Why should we go to the street each and every time to fight for our rights? Yet we elected people. Do you know the main reason why we elected the people? To manage the scarcity, to find a way of gathering the scarce resources, to bring them unto the people. But what do you know what they are doing? They are encouraging the scarcity so that the people may come and beg. And that's what I've been seeing my party leader, Honorable Jim Wanjigi, trying to talk about. Yeah? Because Wanjigi, we want to be the president of this country. And the question that maybe I may encouraging viewers to ask themselves, why is it that Wanjigi is exposing debt that much, yet he want to be the president of the country? Because he has the good ideas for this nation. Easy ideologies and policies alone tell you that when you get there, you won't even get a room to loot. Yeah. You see? What he has been displaying the ground. So when you want to promote any economy of the country, I think there are major sectors that we should look at. Number one of them being education sector, which this government, they are trying to cripple and to make it fall down. Number two is agricultural sector. And number three is micro business. You see? Ruto, president, he promised the people that Hustler Fund will help to, promote the micro business. They'll be loaning and supporting the poor people on the ground. But when that Hustler Fund thing, we came to just understand it from a CPA, Honorable, current CS, Mbadi, that these people were stealing. They were stealing from the people through the Hustler Fund, putting a huge interest rate there and small money. So you get that our people get to these people, they are driving us to poverty directly. You come to the education sector because majorly getting a job in job market is not only about being employed. You get education, you get some exposure, you get some enlightenment, and that's why actually we don't go to school to be employed.
We don't go to school to be employed.
No, we don't. We go to school to get some exposure, to get some ideas. You can do entrepreneurship, you can engage yourself in real estate. There are a lot of things you can do through education, and trust me, education is the key that can unlock poverty. Having that educated mind. So what are these? We are not understanding the president and his regime. Why is he trying? Because majority of the people who need this education actually are the poor people from the ground, Apparent struggle, they sell land. Some of them do charcoal, they burn charcoal, so that a son may get an exposure and get education. And trust me, even Ruto himself, it's not a dynasty, the way he has been saying. He has been saying it's not a dynasty. And he was saying that he was encouraging us that even a poor man can rise from zero, the same way he did. Why did Ruto rise to the top? Because the education sector was not crippled. His parents could afford. You see?